You put your head down, you stay late, you double your output, and then you watch as a major promotion is handed to someone whose main achievement seems to be grabbing coffee with the director every Tuesday. The immediate reaction is a mix of anger and disbelief. You complain to your peers that the decision is unfair. Then, driven by stubborn pride, you decide to work even harder to prove the decision-makers wrong. But fighting a social decision with raw hours at a desk is the Don Quixote fallacy. Much like the knight who mistook windmills for giants and charged at them with a lance, you are pouring massive energy into attacking the wrong target. This flowchart illustrates an idealized meritocracy. We assume the system operates on a public logic, where the input of hard work maps perfectly to the output of a reward. But in practice, that circuit breaks. The perfectly objective system is a myth. Underneath that broken connection lies a complex secondary layer of intersecting human relationships that actually dictate how resources and opportunities are distributed. Stalling occurs when a professional chooses to ignore this hidden layer in favor of the one they wish existed. Clinging to a rigid concept of fairness keeps highly competent people perpetually stuck. Accessing these underlying dynamics requires looking past corporate policy and into human biology. Humans are wired to help the people they like. This diagram maps a standard social group. Watch how the resource blocks flow strictly along the thickest lines of affinity, entirely bypassing the isolated nodes despite their high output. This is a baseline operating code of all human dynamics. When faced with this biological reality, you have two options. You can be furious about it, or you can use it. Applying moral judgments to human nature does not change its inevitability. Only strategic adaptation produces results. Consider the first option. Resentment functions as a psychological defense mechanism. It protects the ego from the sting of failure by placing the blame on external forces. This chart applies systems theory to your effort. Notice the resentment bar siphons 100% of energy input, while the yield metric stays flat at 0. It provides comfort, but no return. Now the alternative. Replace resentment with strategic manipulation, the skillful handling of systems. It acts as a multiplier, and the yield spikes upward. Getting angry at favoritism is useless as getting angry at gravity. A strategic player doesn't fight physics. They build an airplane to leverage it. This strategy involves deliberately aligning your visible output with the social wiring of decision-makers. You ensure the people holding the resources actually enjoy interacting with you. True professionals engineer their environment. They treat human bias as a predictable, manageable variable, rather than a personal insult. Letting go of righteous anger over unfairness marks the point of professional maturity. This isometric map shows a typical corporate structure. Through this lens, the workplace transforms from an unpredictable lottery into a terrain with clear, calculated pathways that bypass structural barriers. Navigating these paths requires removing malice from your internal dialogue. Success comes from an objective, mechanical alignment with human nature. Resentment provides a temporary psychological warmth, wrapping you in the comfort of being right, but it guarantees absolute stagnation. Being right provides no momentum. Strategy is the only mechanism capable of actually altering outcomes and moving the needle. Stop resenting the game. Start playing it.